Welcome back to the 2007 Directors Chair Film Festival and our studio audience in the house. And some great writer-directors. To my right, we have Andrew Flores, whose film Liar's Pendulum we'll see shortly. And Phil Allocco, whose film we just saw, Joseph Henry, and Nicholas Serenati, Soul Survivors' film. Phil's film is Joseph Henry, which we just saw. So Phil, let's start with you, Joseph Henry. For those of us that didn't see it, for some of the people just tuning in right now, tell us what the film is about.
It's a psychological drama, and the majority of the film takes place between a conversation between a man and a 7-year-old boy, and it's kind of hard to talk about without giving it away because the whole thing's based on a twist, but ultimately everything that you think is real winds up being in his head, and everything you think are his dreams turn out to be reality.
Was the story inspired for some personal experience, or just?
Yeah, you could say that. Well, see, the whole aspect of the story is this man winds up spending his last few moments before he's about to be killed with this child, and you find out through the narrative that, you know, the child is him, and this is how he's, you know, spending his last few moments trying to save that kid or apologize to that kid for what, you know, for how his life turned out.
Right, and
so for me, I guess it was kind of a foreshadowing of something that happened in my life, because I wound up having to go, I wound up with this illness called trigeminal neuralgia.
Mm-hmm.
And it's known as the most painful condition known to humans.
Wow.
And it said that there was no cure and all this stuff. And so I had to eventually have to go through brain surgery. And actually this Sunday will be 3 years anniversary for me.
Wow.
And if I made it 2 years, I was considered clinically cured. So this idea I had it earlier, but it had a lot of resonance with me, because I was like, wow, you never picture something like this is going to happen, and and I kind of really related to this, so I was really passionate about.
Obviously, so somewhat maybe therapeutic, the making of this film for you.
Yeah, definitely.
And where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Brooklyn.
Okay, but is this your first film? You've done films before this?
This is my third film.
Okay.
My third short film.
Right. Well, congratulations, first of all. 2 years and now 3 years. That's fantastic.
I'm healthy.
So, big hand for you. Very good, very good. It's kind of like being in a relationship and writing a great song about it or something, right? Maybe the best inspiration comes through tragedy and heartache and things like that.
Especially tragedy that winds up, because all the news was supposed to be bad about it, and then to find out, like, oh no, it's much better than I expected.
And you rode your motorcycle out here too,
I
right?
rode my motorcycle, yeah.
Fantastic. Well, you can call in 718-727-0235 as we do the second annual Directors Chair Film Festival here on CTV. It's our second year doing it, and it is the only live televised film festival, as far as I know, anywhere in America, which is a very cool thing. The website, again, for the complete schedule and lineup throughout the weekend, the Directors Chair TV.com. As you guys are writers and directors, what was the hardest part of making your film? A lot of people say writing it. Other people say post-production, editing. And other people say actually on-set shooting and get the responses you want and the emotions you want from the actors, depending if it's a documentary or fiction. What do you guys see as the biggest challenge in getting it just right?
Well, for my film, casting was a big challenge for this film, and it always intimidated me, which, because about 8 or 9 pages of dialogue had to be given by a 7-year-old child. So I thought, it's hard enough to get anyone to deliver.
Haley Joel Osment,
Yeah, so I thought that was going to be the hardest part, and that always kind of made me very concerned about it. And also the film had kind of a lot of locations, and it's kind of epic for a short film. And so. What
were your locations? Where'd you shoot it?
I shot in Manhattan, in Coney Island, in Brooklyn. Shot in Queens. We shot in Staten Island. We actually.
They say shooting in New York is like the best co-star. If you ever shoot a film in New York.
Yeah, the locations are great. Actually, one of the best locations we found was here in Staten Island, which was this boat.
Which is New York City.
Well, yes. But we needed this old, and you know, forever I had this old boat I needed that was, you know, at this dock. I was like, where am I going to find that, you know? And I found one here in Staten Island that was there for like 60, 70 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great. Really cool location.